I'm afraid my internet appears to be struggling a bit. It just froze for like a good amount of time. Thanks, Zoom. My internet connection is unstable.
That was literally what we opened up with. Oh, man. All right, everybody, listen. Welcome to Kingmaker Season 3, Session 2. Before Naga gets here, let's have fun. Because you know he ruins everything when he shows up.
We're leveling again. Thanks, Scott.
Oh, no. No.
We're re-rolling all our poor health rolls.
You can only
Thanks,
level
Scott.
when Mem sends us a video of him eating himself eating peanut M&Ms. That's when you can level next.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
I think we'll let that one go.
Yeah. Naga's already here though. I don't see him in chat. Oh shit! Yes, I do. Damn it. Oh well. All right. So it's not harsh, Steve, because Mem doesn't watch the show, so he has no idea. All right, guys. Do you remember what happened last session?
Yeah, of course.
Would you like to fill us in there, Neil?
The Chosen did some shit with a white that no one cares about, and then we're like, fuck this noise. We have a war to fight, and then we went down and signed the peace treaty, and they gave us all presents and said we were all wonderful. We said thanks, we are, and then we rode to the defense of Reed, where we met with the army, and we bought time. Heroically, we put ourselves in harm's way to buy time. And then we valiantly routed the attackers, even though they wished to damage the civilians, and we crushed them in a pincer maneuver, and their commander fled, leaving them leaderless. Unfortunately, of course, that meant that no surrender order was given, and so they just carried on fighting, and those that threw down their swords we left, but they just carried on fighting. You know, they were well-trained men and women, and unfortunately that meant that while they were armed, we couldn't take the risk. You know, we respected that they had the right to bear those arms, and so we built a wall around them of corpses. And now we're hunting down their commander to punish him for his sins.
Well, some of that is what transpired. Some of that was a dream session that Neil had.
Excuse me, my propaganda is set to aggressive. You shut up, man.
You know what? He's right. Neil, you take over, please. Another 5 sentences. What really happened, Neil? What really happened?
We killed the majority of the people that
No,
came
no,
to
no, no, no.
attack.
You were saviors to the majority of the people of Aeroth. Really, the whole planet is here to
I
continent.
think we took.
You said it, Scott. You said it.
We took a stance here, and you know, I think this will send ripples throughout Aeroth about what evil can and can't get away with.
You know what? I think it will.
we told Haude Gwenh, we said to Haude Gwenh, enough is enough. You know, you can cross the river, you can punish your people, but going after Reed, going after one's harem, 2 of them in one place. No, you do not, sir.
You're in the harem too now, if you remember.
3 in one place. Oh my god.
Oh, good point, Naga. That's because of the community game. I'll fix it in a moment.
No,
All right.
Don't fix them, mate. Don't fix it.
Yeah, just leave it. There's no time right now.
Yeah, I can do it while we're live, while we're chatting. All right, cool. So, I believe it literally ended off the most recent thing, the most important thing happened. Oh, by the way, you were very wrong about the undead creature. Many people do care about that.
Yeah, sure.
Just unfortunately,
but
not
they
the ones
haven't
that
got souls.
just not the ones that
plain,
matters.
so-
So yeah. So you boys, I have to turn all these on. You are chasing down the commander of that group. So that is going to be you there, Jake, are following that guy.
With horsemen's.
Yeah, that's everything. Cool. All right. So you were chasing down that guy and trying to find him. Now, I believe you actually are on a horse. And did you take anybody with you? Any of your subordinates?
We took 20. You said 25 cavalry can be diverted.
That's right. So, and you're going to go hunt this man down. That was the plan. That was the tactic.
Yeah,
So-
as soon as Neil kind of picked up what they were doing, he told me and Valoran, and we took some men and immediately left the battle to do that.
Awesome. So with you leading them as kind of like the commander, the de facto commander of what would be considered, I think, a small size or a tiny size.
Well, I'm going to say Tesh is also there, so we can use his charisma. Thank you.
I don't think Tesh came with you, but you have to choose one commander.
He 100% came because it was
Hold
me
on,
and
hold
Valoran.
on. You have to choose one commander. Whoever it may be, it would have to be you or it would have to be Tesh. Now, this is an important thing because obviously Tesh comes with certain details that are very useful. Like, for instance, he actually has a personality. However, he does not have as good of a perception, and you will need that for your scouting.
Why can't I scout and he lead the troops?
Because that's not how the war mechanics work.
Sure?
Well,
Surely your commander can't scout.
No, but it's your commander's ability to scout, their perception is how they kind of like, for instance, you can say, search the woods, men. Or you can say, men, I need you to stand 3 arm lengths apart, searching the woods, consistently looking both to your left and to your right, but no further than the leg of the man next to you. There's a difference. Ooh, there's a difference in
I'm
quality of
multi-flooring.
searching.
See you later. Bye.
Well, you guys did say something earlier. You said, it only ever happens when Tesh isn't here. Now it's Neil's problem to clean it up.
One will lead because his perception's good.
Yeah, Neil, want to play 2 crowns?
Yeah, actually, but you know what? Let's have 2 crowns where the viewers can pay bits, and for every 200 bits, we have to drop 1 coin. Just yeet it out there.
Oh,
Useless.
no. We have to do better than that. Every 10 bits.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
I just, as long as chat can hurt me,
Yeah.
as long as they can ruin all of our plans, that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Try by fire. Right, Snaga? All right. Jake, who's...
Yeah, I'll lead. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So...
No point now. Let's go.
You're going to go hunting after him. Now, this is going to, more or less, the way this is going to go out is you're just going to be leading the troop. As a reminder, just to show you guys, as a reminder to what it is that you guys can do with your leadership. Oh, I actually do not have that on the right. Okay, let's change it to this channel so everybody can see what I just showed. Where are you, sir? 1, you have a morale of -1. So you can lead the men like that. That shouldn't be a concern unless you actually have to utilize the morale. And you have the ability to hold the line. So just kind of keep that in mind. You are more than welcome to kind of take over from here, leading the group. Now, with the leading of the group, why don't you do me a favor and roll me a perception check. Wow, one of the worst perception checks you have ever rolled, Jake. Oh, hold on 1 second.
That's fitting.
You send your men out there, trying to warn them about where it is that. Sorry, I was just looking at notice something. So you guys were out there trying to find out where this man went. You saw where he ran off, where he rode off to, right? You saw which way he kind of ran away. But he did this at dawn. He did this because you guys had fought all night long and whatnot. Through the cover of night, kind of slipped away, which is why I almost evaded your perceptions beforehand. You guys happened to notice it because many of you have dark vision and or low light vision, and you happen to be very perceptive lot, especially you there, Jake. Unfortunately, he did slip out from from your where you could find him. You have your men searching throughout the better part of the day, and unfortunately, you just are not able to find them. We're going to cut
Well,
back to Neil in a
if we're
moment.
searching for an entire day, this shouldn't just be a perception then. It should move on to survival because you're tracking someone.
No, because this is how scouting works. Because you're doing army versus army. 1 second. He just happens to be a single man army, 1-person army. Which
Can I not just ride for Haude Gwenh?
Well, hold on 1 second. However, while searching for the better part of the day, sticking to the tops of hills, commanding your men out to the widest points to look in each direction, you were not able to find them. You're not going to just easily make up a camp and be like, well, I guess we didn't find them. So you probably have your sights set on Haude Gwenh and tell your men, I know it's late, I know we fought all day, but there's no end. We need to keep finding. We need to find this commander. This is going to deliver like a true blow to the enemy sort of approach. And so you start getting your men gathered to start the ride to the south and to the east. When one person does approach you on horseback, I'm so sorry, I've got like a... It's one of the actual royal guard of Kurzfall that happens to coming up to you on horseback. This is one of the guard that you originally had sent out to be guarding Rid with Kithul, and they come riding up to you. And when they come up to you, you can see just by the way that they don't look like they've been in a fight. They do not look like they've been a part of the war. They're not covered with the blood. They don't look as exhausted as all the men around you are, and you guys are rather exhausted. But they come riding up to you. At first, they ride up cautiously, and like when one of your men call out to them, they call back, and then it's kind of like an open, you're not concerned about them sort of a thing. You, of course, have them come over to speak with you, and they dismount from their horse to walk up to you and say, Chosen of the Blade.
Yes.
What has happened? Are you from... is this from the Battle of Rid?
Is what from the Battle of Rid? I'm confused.
Sense motive, this dude. What the hell? Why is there a random royal guard just out in the middle of nowhere?
He says, the soldiers that are with you, are they from the Battle of Rid? Is this all that remains of our army?
Yeah, I'm gonna sense motive. This is fucking weird. If he was at Rid, he would know.
He would have seen.
Correct.
Yeah. Why can't I not look at my own shit?
It's under S.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, I'm just fucking blind.
Sense motive is... It's under S. Oof. You think that he's being genuine. He seems concerned, confused.
What are you asking me again? Are these people from Rid?
Is this all that remains from the army at the Battle of Rid?
Soldier, where did you come from? Were you not stationed in Rid?
Yes and no. I'm stationed in Rid, but I've been out scouting.
Well, what have you found?
Kind of not having his answer delivered to him, he looks a little like more concerned, and he says, "Well, not much. There was a rider that was to the south of here. Not very far to the south, off the roads though, intentionally staying off the roads. I don't imagine they're very bright or very keen on traveling in the night alone. They had a torch with them, so I noticed them through the trees. I didn't get close enough to see who they were, but there was just the one rider."
Take me there.
It's maybe an hour's travel from here.
We better get going.
He nods, and he'll, hop back up on his horse and start riding to the south. Now, as I said, I'm so sorry. You guys have been fighting all day, all night, and then riding throughout the night searching for them. You're fatigued, literally the mechanic fatigue, -2 dex and strength. Cannot run or charge, but that's fine. You do need to push on to continue trying to find this guy. That is going to require for you to make me a fortitude save for both you and your steed. So sorry, it's just like turkey bacon stuck in the throat. That's why you don't microwave it. That's why you cook it proper. But I didn't have a lot of sleep, so, you know, I just kind of worked with what I had. Shut up, Neil. Fortitude save, sir.
It's the horse.
Okay. It's built like a horse. All right. He's now. Could you just do me one favor? Roll me a 1d20 +1. This is gonna be for the men in your army. The men in your army have the exhausted condition. -6 strength and dex, cannot run or charge. They are out there. They're struggling to continue their pace, but they're not going to, unless they collapse within consciousness, they're not going to fight against you. Needless to say, the morale of your men is pretty low, but you push on. He is, of course, leading you, which is giving you a bonus, but could you, I'm going to have you roll it because you have a really good survival. Could you roll me a survival check?
Is this for tracking?
Correct, to find the exact spot. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I get a bonus to track.
Yep, you get a nasty bonus to track.
Half level, so that'd be +2 on top of this.
Oh!
Oh, my God. 32.
He leads the way to where it is that you need to go. And he happens to lead the way. And unfortunately, you don't see any torches that are lit. Because obviously the man eventually had to stop at camp. And he was smart enough, even though he was traveling with torchlight, to camp without it. But that doesn't matter. You picked up the scent. You see the tracks of the horse that he was riding on. And you can easily find it. He continues, because both of you guys notice the tracks and are walking together. He continues to lead you, but you take over. Because, well, you know this land. You've been traveling on it for a better part of a year now, consistently over in this region, down to the south and east fairly often. You know where you are, and you know likely where it is that he set camp. You can easily arrange your soldiers to have whatever kind of ambush you would like. You can have them completely surrounded. You can do more or less whatever approach you would like to, because you're 99.99% sure you know exactly where he's camping. How is your approach?
Do I see any other tracks around suggesting more people?
You actually do not. You literally see the tracks of him. You see the tracks of one horse, and you saw him lead off on one horse.
And a fox.
No, lightning's not here.
A random fox has walked through.
Well, in that case, also a couple of owl bears, a goblin, and
an owl bear. What the hell, dude? This is like plains.
Yeah, and a one-legged dwarf. Mm-hmm.
A dwarf.
Yeah, one-legged dwarf.
What's a dwarf?
Dwarf.
I'd probably have the men surround them, and probably I'd try and stealth in closer.
So you want to do like the whole completely surround and move in at all sides evenly?
Yep.
Do you move in with them, or do you stay on like a back layer?
No, I will stealth closer.
Okay, you're welcome to roll stealth for you first. Don't forget to have the fatigue tag ticked.
Drink a pot of invis, do it.
I don't have one.
Oof. Oh dear. Did you hear that little evil laughter from Scott there into his mug?
I brought my why is the DM smiling mug to work like about a year ago, and I've left it there. And it's funny watching other people drink out of it that don't really know what Dungeons & Dragons is. I love when people ask me, Dungeons & Dragons, that's a video game, right? And you're like, yep.
So where I used to work, I had a mug that was mine. If someone else drank out of it, I wouldn't have sat there like, haha, this is funny. I'd have been like, that's my mug.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care.
You don't take an Englishman's mug.
And
that is my tea vessel.
I work with people that don't wash it afterwards either, and so I just wash it before I use it because I don't care. So some people are just not good people, and I don't care. You don't currently have the fatigue tag ticked, otherwise that would have been one less, and it would have had the tag on there. But that's okay. We know it's a 24. Which is
I do have the fatigue tag. on conditions.
Usually it has it shows it underneath when you.
Look on my sheet. It's
No,
reduced
no, no.
my
I
strength.
believe you. It's just usually it shows underneath. It's really weird. Either way, so you're good. So now, could you do me a favor? Could you roll me a 1d20 -4?
For your boys' stealth.
Because they usually have a -1 from their armor affecting them, and then they have a -6 dexterity at the moment. So, needless to say, you tip him off very early on, as men are kind of like stumbling through the woods without dark vision, in the darkness, half asleep.
Well, I did go slightly before them, so
Yeah, sure. But
closer.
you tip him off. So he like wakes up, and like, what the fuck, and immediately like grabs his because you can actually do me a favor, roll me a perception really quickly to see exactly what you see.
Well, if he's asleep, he has a -20 to perception.
Don't listen. I got you.
I don't think you do.
I got you.
Perception.
Jesus, Jake. All right, so dice are with you today, sir. So this is what happens. You literally see him like jerk and jump up from where he was lying down in a bedroll. He didn't have a tent or anything like that set up. He jumps out of a bedroll, and he clearly, like, because he wears, as we described beforehand, like breastplate armor. He's wearing like part of the breastplate, so like he removed like the pauldrons and the chest piece and whatnot, but he still has like the leggings and like the bracers still on him. So
The
he was
leggings of a breastplate.
Yeah.
A breastplate's an actual breastplate. It's not half plate.
I understand that. But
Anyway,
you still have leather protections and whatnot. So, so he's removed the heavy portion so he could sleep in it like light armor, no problem. But he had just jumped up, left behind any armor, grabbed up his sword, which is inside the sheath still. So he grabbed the sheath and like immediately kind of like rolls over it and runs over to his horse. And he's trying to like climb up onto his horse to get away. Now, obviously, you see every bit of this. You see he's leaving behind his pack and everything else that's there, aside from what might already be on the horse. Oh, wait. He had removed the packs from the horse. He left the saddle on it because he planned on getting up and leaving quickly. But he removed packs from the horse, too. So there's not much with him. But he's trying to quickly go over and hop up on it. Before he's able to do that, sir, actually, let me switch my screen over here. Why don't we have you roll initiative to see if you can act first. Now, technically, we're going to do this differently. The way initiative works is it's your knowledge, because it's on an individual fight. No, not that. It's on an individual fight, technically army versus army. So you're actually rolling your 1d20 plus, I think it's your profession soldier is what you're rolling. So you just click profession.
I have profession soldier.
Yeah, you're just going to click profession.
Okay.
Could you not make the choice to not have this as army combat now?
I mean, sure, that's fine. We can do this individually. Sure.
Well, I can't really give orders at the moment because what I was planning to do was to go in before the thing, and they have their orders already to close the gap.
Okay. You want to do this as individual? That's fine. He's happy with his 23. Give me 1 second. I need this guy. I'm going to roll initiative for you. You crushed my initiative. You go first. There's a distance between you and him of about 60 feet, because that's within your range that you can see him. And he's hopping up onto his horse as you were stealthing in, and then your men, unfortunately, gave away your position too easily because they rolled horribly. So from 60 feet away, you see him jumping out and going to his horse to hop up. He has not gotten on his horse yet. He's only jumped out of his bedroll and grabbed his sword. Go ahead, Jake.
All right. So how far can I move?
Your speed.
I can move 30 feet, and then I will come. What can I do? Wait, I can. He's 60 feet away.
Absolutely, exactly 60 feet away.
I'm gonna charge attack him.
All right.
Can you do that when you're fatigued?
You cannot do that when you're fatigued.
You can't. Oh,
This
great.
Scott was sitting there grinning.
It may have been.
Yes.
That may have been one of the reasons. I'm gonna sit here and eat an egg now while I wait.
Okay.
Yeah, you eat
well, I'm
that
gonna
egg.
move forward 30 feet and 30 feet. Sorry, and I'm gonna cast a daze on the horse.
Ooh, okay.
Do you have anything on that egg? Like,
No, I don't salt the egg. That makes it too gross.
no. Oh my god.
Can I also swift action demoralize?
That's a will save, right? You can, yes,
Um,
absolutely. Oh,
yes, it is. It's not exactly a will save, but I
Oof.
don't think.
Oof.
Anyway, I'll put daze in the chat.
you dazed the horse. 100% dazed the horse. Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome. So anyways, it loses its turn. A dazed subject is
Yeah,
not
so
stunned. The daze, they can't. So I think you have no actions when you daze. You can't walk. You have no action, no move action. So they can't do anything. And a horse is definitely 4 HD or fewer. So yeah, the horse is dazed. You can swift action demoralize him. What's your auto intimidation?
27.
Isn't out of range. 25 feet plus 5 feet per 2 levels. It's definitely within range. 27 for the demoralize. Also, I think that's also 30 feet. So you definitely frighten him or give him the scared condition or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I
And
hate to say it. I do agree. Daze specifies humanoid creature.
oh, it does specify humanoids. You would have to choose him.
Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, sorry, sir. In which case I have to roll the he has a will save, so it's not like it's crazy high, but I do get to roll this. I'm sorry. Oof. So the daze doesn't work, but the intimidation does. You could have said that your intimidation actually went first, even, which gives him a -2 to his save, but it still would be a 14. It would still be a failure. So it does not work. He's not dazed. But you do frighten him, so he has a penalty. So you moved up, cast daze, and what did you say to him to intimidate him? Fill me in.
What did I say to him? I'm gonna Samuel L. Jackson and just surprise motherfucker him.
Okay. Surprise, motherfucker. That was his attempt to get on the horse as a free action. It failed. So instead, he's going to go over to the horse. So he's getting up, which is his movement. Right? But I always did that kind of like as you guys snuck in, like as initiative was happening. So then he goes over to the horse and climbs up on it and starts rearing the horse for a direction to run off to, moving it in that direction, but doesn't get very far. He's still, because you moved up 30, he's still 40 feet away from you. He did not move very far. That is his whole turn. He can do nothing else. It's now your turn again, Jake. We don't really need an initiative tracker, do we? Your men are, of course, moving in too, but they're stumbling and tumbling towards it. They're not doing very well.
Underground.
I'm gonna move up
overground.
and I'm gonna. What am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna try and hit him.
So, like I said, he's 40 feet away, so you can move up 30 feet, I think is your speed.
Oh, well, was the horse further, was it?
Yeah, well, he climbed up on the horse and he was able to move it just a smidge. But that's fine. Again, you can move up
Okay.
your 30 feet, and then you can do... I think you have time for
can do
range
nothing.
things. Oh, you throw an axe.
I throw my only weapon. It's a good idea. What else do I have? Yeah, there's nothing I can do, so I'm going to cast another spell, I guess. Can I try and daze him again?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You can do that infinitely.
What else can I do? So I'm going to try that again.
Here's a -2 to the rolls, don't forget, because you gave him the shaken condition.
Yeah.
Oh, so I actually rolled too high. So that's actually a 13, but I think a 13 is exactly what I need to pass.
It is.
Yeah, sorry. So you move up, so he's only 10 feet away.
Oh, dude.
And you do that. So now it's his turn. He's going to try to get away. He rears a horse around. Now he can see, or he can hear at least, all of the soldiers coming in from all around. He actually looks at you and says, "Am I surrounded?"
Of course.
Prisoner of war?
One nods.
says,
Can't see it though.
he says, fuck that. And he brings the horse around and tries to bring it to like charge through the people that he's with. Sorry, like your circle that's there. So first thing he has to do is he has to make a ride attempt to get the horse to do exactly that. So I'm going to make my ride attempt. DC 15. Okay, he makes a ride attempt. Now the horse has to attempt a bull rush attempt against your soldiers. What's up?
Does he have to make a handle animal check like we have to make like constantly all the time? Anytime we ride a horse?
Well, he has a war-trained mount. You do not, and that's the difference.
I just want to ask, because it's not been specified, this is all taking place in pitch black darkness?
Yeah, it is dark, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, which is why, again, he's not really able to do anything. He's going to try to bull rush through the men. Now, because of the size of the horse, you're going to be able to have one man. He has to get through two people, and those two people are going to have the ones next to them assisting. So first things first, he has to try to break through them, and they're going to be aiding each other. So they're going to get a -6 for their strength, but they're also going to get a +6. A -3 for the strength, but also a +6 for all the aids happening from the people around them. So it ends up
can
being
I
a
yell
+3.
to them to attack the horse?
And when they ride by, if he does break through, they get attacks of opportunity as well. So, actually, you know what? They could have prepared actions because they're literally looking for this. They can prepare their action to attack as he approaches. So you can literally do that first. So let's do that way. I'm going to have you slash roll. Again, they suck right now. You're going to slash roll 1d20 -1 is attack roll. Actually, do slash roll 4d20. And we know that it'll be -1 off of each one of them.
And this is against the horse?
Correct.
Sweet. Okay.
All right, one's a chance for crit. Its AC is 11. That's 2 hits. That's 3 hits. Roll me a d20 to see if that chance to crits.
Did all of them show up, or only 3?
What do you mean?
All of them showed up for us.
Yeah, we see all of them. Yeah.
Is a 20, a 12, a 7, and a 14.
So roll me another d20, sir. Real quick.
Oh, this cough is tickly.
Yeah, same thing. My food was like in my throat. You critical hit as well. Awesome. So the average health of a horse is 15. So I'm just going to hit this part for you. They generally use longswords. So slash roll. That's going to be, I got this for you. 4d8. But because of their hurt strength, minus 2 for each attack. So 48 minus 6. Unfortunately. Yeah.
48 minus 6.
Yeah, because unfortunately they just have strength. I should.
Are you wanting me to roll that?
No, I got you. It should be 1d8 minus 2 because minimums of 1. I don't want this to screw up the math. And then this one would be a 2d8 minus 2. All right, so you did 14 points of damage against a creature that has 15 health, and the horse freaks the fuck out. He needs to make another ride check to not fall off the horse. Natty 20s with 1 health point. He's actually able to stay on the horse. But now here's the hard part. He has to bull rush through your people with a now very, very, very injured horse. I need you to roll me their strength check. So like I said, it's a 1d20, usually a +1. Instead, it's minus 3 is -2, +6. So 1d20 +4. And because this is large size, he gets a bonus. Slash roll 1d20 plus 7. Okay, here we go. You rolled a 14, I rolled a 22. So he does still literally burst through as all of your men are cutting deep into the horse. Literally the one that the horse happens to bull through does not hurt it, but each of the other ones on the side are able to injure the horse and injure it very, very badly as they rush through and past them. The horse can see in this lighting, same as Jake. Well, not quite as good as Jake, but can see in this lighting, same as like say an elf could. So the horse actually has the ability to navigate, even if the human can't. But he does actually burst through. Jake, he's still within your line of sight. He's back to being about 60 feet away. But you can clearly tell the horse is just bleeding. You can see all the blood on the ground and whatnot as you go like chasing after. How do you approach this? How are you going to try to catch him?
Horses do have low light vision. That's interesting.
Horses do what?
He yells to the soldiers, fucking attack, attack the horse, and he's going to drop his axe, pull out his composite longbow, and try and shoot the horse.
Take a shot. Here we go, Jake. Here's your moment of truth.
I can move forward in that too, can't I?
Yep. You drop your axe on the ground, walking up 30 feet, pulling out your bow, prepping, and...
It's like that scene Uruk-hai versus Boromir, where he walks up with the... He, like, grins at him.
You hit the horse. And you don't need to roll for damage, because that damage is enough to... hits the ground. And from this point, we don't need to do anything else, because he's one man in darkness, and he's a human. You have a mix of races with you, including yourself, which is dark vision. You guys easily are able to kind of like chase up and swarm around him. Your men are exhausted. They're literally stumbling over themselves to get over there. They have their swords at the ready. Some of them using literally trees to keep themselves standing. But he's definitely outnumbered. He's definitely outnumbered by the men. Even your exhausted men would be losses. They would be able to take him down. You alone, however, could do it. So lying there pinned underneath his horse, you come walking over.
And I'm going to beat him into unconsciousness.
Okay, well then. Cutting back a whole day beforehand, Neil, because you get to flip the bill for the fact that you have so many armies. You cut back a day beforehand, and you're checking out the details in the Battle of Rid. What had transpired there, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. As you guys know, you had very few injuries. Well, I shouldn't say very few. You had some injuries. You had casualties, of course. You had some injuries for your men. You had very, very few deaths that had transpired.
Casualties.
Casualties means both injury and dead in war.
Does it?
Yeah. If you look up the casualties of World War I or World War II, it's referring to both injured and dead, not just
Is it really?
dead. Yeah. So
No, I want meaning, not the BBC program. A person killed or injured in a war or accident. Interesting.
yeah. So anyways, you had few casualties compared to what had happened to the other army, but it is literally almost nothing comparatively. A few dead soldiers, but mostly it's just the injuries you have to deal with. You kind of regroup. You send scouts out immediately to look for any other attacks and whatnot. Hinta comes over, Nelly comes over to speak with you, and for the first time since you arrived here, Kithel is actually going to make his way over as well to speak with you. The initial details are handled over the course of the next couple of hours. Nothing that you immediately have to converse as you guys are each trying to like tighten up the groups, plan this, that, and the other thing. All the survivors on their end are surrounded and whatnot. And this is where there's going to be, again, a couple hours later, kind of a tense situation. Everybody's finally coming together. I imagine you walking in with your helmet off, walking into the tents to give orders. All of you are tired. Every one of you have fought all night, all day, so on and so forth. Every one of you have bags under your eyes, irritable, but, you have a job to do. When you come walking in, Kithel, Nelly, and Hinta kind of turn their attention to you, as do other nameless lieutenants.
Like you say, wherein will take off his helmet. He'll take off a glove and drag his hand through his hair to pull it back, and over his face as well. Presumably there's a table or something in here. Mm-hmm. He'd place the helmet down on the table and nod.
Hinta says, well, that went a good bit better than the last battle we were in, well, didn't it?
Yes, it did. A lot less casualties on our side for once.
Well, yeah, but I have to say, the training regiments you got us prepared with, we've been training almost nonstop since that day, and we appreciate it. Once again, you have the many thanks of the people of Wherein. Though we won this fight, we know that the war is not over. We are here to stay until we've defeated these bastards.
Hinta, it's not you that should be thanking me. It's I that should be thanking you. You've saved a great many people today. You came down and you honored the help that we gave you and provided it in turn to protect our people, and I would thank you for it.
When you do that, because she's kind of excitable, Nellie's... And it's this like awkward moment where others are like, yeah. As people are like clapping for her. And
But wait, are you talking about Nellie? Do you mean Tally?
God damn it! I keep saying Nellie. I meant Tally. Nellie's
Good.
the
Just
Nellie's the
confirming.
priesty girl. Tally's the. They're all harem ladies. So.
Oh my god!
Sorry, this is H1 as opposed to H2, right? So and H3's in the tent as well. So Tally. My apologies. So Tally.
You're forgetting H5 now.
Oh, so you know, there's that moment or whatever, and then Kithel clears his throat. In the spirit of saving peoples, he turns to you. There are many wounded on their side that lie across the battlefield. We have them surrounded. They're going nowhere, though I imagine many couldn't get to anywhere very fast anyway. What do we plan to do? There's more than a score of them, perhaps 2 score.
I will speak to them directly. Human to human, human to hobgoblin. We will try to make them see.
Without some degree of medical treatment, many of them will not hear your words, either because they do not lie awake or because the pain would be too great for them to comprehend.
We presumably have a stockpile of medical resources here. This is a place that refugees have been coming. Accidents happen on the road.
We have supplies. We have some degree of skill.
Then let us offer what supplies and what help we can. Do not waste valuable resources, but bandages, cleaning, tinctures, these sorts of things we can offer.
I'll get on
Help
that
get
immediately. Were you going to say something else?
He was just saying, help get these men and women back on their feet.
So he says, I'll get on that immediately. And he actually turns and walks out of the tent, seemingly not very interested in the other bits of the conversation. And he walks out to go give orders, get the supplies, and start treating the injured and wounded. As you guys know, Kithel is very focused on one's personal well-being. So he goes to take care of that, and that leaves you behind with the nameless lieutenants and with Tally and Hinta. Tally says, well, the people of Ritter are, of course, greatly appreciative of you, Hinta, and of everybody else that was involved in the fight. But we want to know where it is that we can be of greater service. Are we just to continue taking in the refugees? Do we expect another attack to happen here? Why did this happen so soon? Do we have any answers? Do we? And then she looks at you, is probably starting to give her that look like, slow down.
Yep.
And she cuts off.
Tally, there is a great deal more I could and will ask of you. However, it is up to you whether or not you accept it. I would ask that you continue to accept refugees, and I would ask that you continue to provide them with a place to live and assist them as you are able. I would also ask that these men and women, out on the field of battle where they fought, are given the opportunity to join the refugee camp should they wish. However, if they wish to go their own way, we will patch them up and allow that.
Wait, we're gonna take theirs? And she looks to Hinta to see how Hinta responds. Hinta just seems to be looking at you and nodding. The lieutenants have different mix of reaction. Go ahead.
These people are men and women of Adir. They fought honorably on their commander's orders. Why their commander was here? His mother came into our custody. His father came into our custody several months ago. Both are safe. They reside in Kurzful. he wished to get them back, and in his eagerness, leapt to two conclusions. Hopefully one will have caught him. We can send him back to Kurzfall, where he can be reunited with his mother in a safe environment.
They nod. Okay.
These people under his command have been crushed. This was a horrible field of battle, and this is what it means to be in a war.
There's a degree of separation between the new refugees and the people that have lived already. The housing. And are we supposed to just let them join in with the refugees? Or do we give them their own place?
I will speak to them and I will make a decision on that. I would appreciate it if you gave me the opportunity to decide whether they would be better placed in the refugee camp or among your own people.
By your command, she says, kind of like she's heard it somewhere, not like really her own words, so she thinks it's something she should say.
Tally, I'm pleased to see that you've been keeping track of the relationship between your own people and the refugees. Continue to do so. Monitor them closely. If you can, find ways to bring them together. Festivals, times when they will work together for good. Perhaps there are fields that need ploughing together. Menial labor together forges strong bonds.
One of the lieutenants chimes in while she's kind of like nodding. Sir, speaking of plowing fields, we've got a fields full of corpses. What are we to do with them? Pile and set a pyre? Should we just burn them?
Are there any rites? So this is for you. Are there any specific rites that would be either specifically followed in a deer or of the martyr when it comes to bodies?
Yeah. So generally speaking, burial is what people would do. Burial, depending on somebody's individual faith, maybe there'd be like a marking to it. For instance, for Lady Aravel, there would be what would look to be like a cross piece of a sword. It'd be kind of like a sword planted by their head. So kind of like a long stick with a smaller stick crossing it. Where for others, it would just be kind of like a burial spot. Members of Vroga might do like a stone or something at the head, but not really. Everybody does that.
To cut in, Scott. 3, I assume, would be at this meeting, and I assume she would chime in at that as well and offer, to conduct
She may well be religiously verged.
Yeah. Actually, I did not have 3 there yet. We were saying that she was otherwise occupied for a moment, which is why Vaku. Okay. I imagine Vaku wasn't actually invited, so I could be mistaken on that one. But he's busy. Get a nap. I'm tired. So the but we'll have 3 reinjected very shortly. So that's typical. However, in times of war, that with the Malta, that what the Perrin will often do, as opposed to all of that. What the Perrin often do, because they're such a warmongering people, that when there are just vast numbers of bodies, where exhausting your people just to dig graves might be a bit much, you just pile them up, not like in a nasty throw them in a pit, but like you line them up, and then you would actually lay twigs like sticks across the top and set fires to burn them, to just clear the fields of the bodies, because you don't want disease and whatnot to happen. But again, that's their efficient way of looking at things, as opposed to what is a typical burial for a person. It's up to you.
How long do you think it would take to bury the bodies on the field of battle?
Sir, there was we didn't count the heads, but most of that army lies dead. I would probably 2 days to have it completely done, unless we're going to have the better part of the army working on it, and then we'll have it done before nightfall tonight.
Have the army bury them. Show them that we treat our enemies with respect and death. I want it done ASAP. Have
Sir.
it done far enough away from the settlement that we will be seeing no traces.
Sir, he picks up his helmet and goes to walk out and then turns back and says, one last question. I imagine deep enough for these rains not to have adverse effect?
Give them a proper burial.
Nods and says, Tally, if you can come with me, I'm sure we're going to need the farmer's equipment. She looks to you to make sure that that's okay.
Wherein smiles sadly and nods.
And she walks out with him as well to go and get plows, shovels, everything else that they can get their hands on for digging. What is it, 4.5 feet or whatever it is you have to do to not have you, whatever the word is. I can't remember the word for when the rain exudes.
I have no idea, but I presume 6 foot is there for a reason, but I have no idea because 6 foot under. I don't know whether that's religious or.
Oh well, 6 feet is an old practice. I don't think it actually has to be 6 feet. I think you can do less than that.
I have no idea. But if you say
beneath.
less, let's go less. Woo!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's less than that. Is where frost actually kicks in. Because if you dig like 3 feet under in the dead of winter, you usually break through the frost of winter. So I'm pretty sure. But either way. Maybe get 6 feet and covers in case they got a big booty. Or maybe it's for the whole size of the casket or something. But we're not casketing them. We're just
I don't know.
heating them in the hole. One of the other soldiers that stands there and says, one last thing, sir. The arms, various other bits of equipment that we find on the corpses. I imagine the dead don't need to be buried with their stuff. But I also don't know if...
Strip the bodies of their arms and armor. However, if I hear that anyone has stripped them of personal affects, they will lose a hand. Do you understand?
Harsh, but yes. And he kind of nods and leaves, leaving you behind with like one last nameless lieutenant and Hinta. Hinta looks at you and says, if that is all, and she is going to reach into like her cloak and produce like a little bottle, to victory.
To victory.
She hands you the bottle for the first swig, and then goes to take one as well, and hands it over to Nameless Lieutenant 3. With that, why don't we take a quick break, and we'll come back very, very shortly with what's going on next. Yes. Mm-hmm. So see everybody in just a few minutes, okay? Bye-bye. Why aren't you changing?
Of course it froze now.
Stream Deck, why aren't you working, Stream Deck? I had to update it, and now it's and then Windows update.